Hi, my name's Sheri Crabtree. I am a horticulture research and extension associate at Kentucky State University. And today we're making pawpaw ice cream. So what is a pawpaw? This is a pawpaw fruit that we have right here. Pawpaw is the largest tree fruit native to the United States. So you can find it growing wild in the woods. It's usually part of the understory of hardwood forest. You can find them growing along rivers and streams. But people are also growing them in orchards, just like apple orchards and peach orchards. There are commercial pawpaw orchards. And also you can grow them yourself at home. So this is what the fruit look like. The skin is green. Even when they're ripe, they're mostly green. Sometimes they have a slight yellow color break. If you have never tasted pawpaw fruit before, the flavor is kind of a blend of mango and banana. So let's cut them open, see what they look like inside. So they have a yellow colored flesh. Some of them, this one is a little bit lighter yellow. Some of them will be a little bit more orange. Yellow-orange. This one is a little bit bruised. So when they are ripe, they are soft. So similar to a ripe avocado, they have a creamy texture. Let me cut this one open. And you can see they have this row of seeds down the middle. This is a good example of an orange fleshed pawpaw. So you see the range from yellow to orange. So pawpaw is in the custard apple family. It has, like I said, this tropical flavor, kind of a banana mango flavor. And it's actually the only temperate member of that family. The rest of the family are tropical plants, including tropical fruits like cherimoya and custard apple and soursop. So pawpaw is the only member of that family that can grow in areas where it gets cold, where it gets below freezing. So that's why it has kind of this tropical appearance and tropical flavor. So what can you do with pawpaws? Like I said, they're soft when they're ripe. They have a short shelf life. So they either need to be processed and frozen or put in the refrigerator or used right away, because when they're ripe, they have a shelf life of only 2 or 3 days. And right now is when they're starting to get ripe here in this area. Late August through late September is pawpaw season. You can find them at farmers markets or sometimes at small local fruit markets or natural food stores. And some people also like to go and forage for wild fruit. So if you have pawpaw fruit, we're going to show you some things that you can do with them. You can use them in recipes and baking similar to banana. So if you like to make banana bread, banana muffins, you can substitute pawpaw for banana. Jam, wine, beer, yogurt, smoothies, things like that. But today we're going to make what a lot of people's favorite item is, which is pawpaw ice cream. It's a really simple recipe that you can make at home. So the first step is you take your ripe fruit, cut it in half, just like we've already done. And you need to remove the skin and the seeds. The skin and the seeds are not edible. So that's the first step. And this is my favorite way to do it at home. I'm going to put on some gloves because this is a little bit messy, this part. It depends on how many fruit you're processing. If you have more fruit, you might want to use a food mill or something to make it a little bit faster. But if you're only processing a few fruit, I like to use these mesh bags. It's actually a laundry bag, but it's good for this purpose too. So you cut the fruit in half, and you want to take a spoon and run it around the edge of the fruit. The skin has a really bitter flavor, so you want to make sure when you do this that you don't get any skin in with the fruit, and you don't even scrape it too close to the skin to get some residue of the skin in the fruit. So we're going to put it in the mesh bag. Make sure we get all of that good pawpaw. So we're going to remove the seeds and kind of the sac that's around the seeds that's a little bit fibrous, and kind of puree the fruit almost using this bag. You can also use a colander. You could scoop this into a colander and push it through with a spoon. I think this is a little bit easier and quicker. And it's also fun. You get to squish your hands around in Pawpaw Pulp. So this is some that we have already processed. This is what the pureed Pawpaw Pulp looks like. But you just want to get it in the mesh bag, hold it over the bowl or container that you're wanting it to go in, and just squeeze and it comes out through the mesh. Like I said, it's a little bit messy, that's why I put the gloves on. And we already have about the amount that we need for our ice cream in this container, so just topping it off. Okay, so I will set that aside. So we've got our Pawpaw puree. And this is how we make the Pawpaw ice cream. So first you want to take your puree, put it into the bowl. And this is a really simple recipe, doesn't call for eggs. You don't have to heat it or make a custard. So we're going to get, that's 1 cup of ripe pawpaw puree. And so into 1 cup of ripe pawpaw, we're going to add 1.5 cups of sugar. There's 1 cup and a half. I'm going to go ahead and stir that together to get it nice and smooth before we add the milk and cream. And this is for a home countertop ice cream maker, which holds 1.5 quarts. So if you're using a large ice cream maker, like one of those that has the big bucket that fits into the bucket of ice and salt, then you can double this recipe. If the recipe's doubled, it will make closer to 1 gallon. So we've got the sugar and the Pawpaw Pulp mixed together. Then we're going to add 2 cups of cream and 2 cups of milk. Let's measure 2 cups, and this is heavy cream, heavy whipping cream. And I'm going to whisk it in a little bit at a time so it incorporates better. And if you want to have this extra smooth, you could mix it up in a blender or food processor also. All right, so there's our cream. Stir that in a little more. And 2 cups of milk. Measure that out. All right, and again, slowly add it so it incorporates better. And again, you could mix it up in a blender or food processor if you wanted. Get all of that pawpaw out of the measuring cup. All right, so this is mixed together. I'm going to get the freezer portion of the ice cream freezer and put that in, and we will pour our ice cream mixture in. All right, so we got our hopper out of the freezer. Let's put it in place. You want to make sure you put the paddle in before you pour the ice cream mixture in. Get the lid on, and we're going to turn this on. And slowly pour the ice cream mixture in as this turns. I'm making a little bit of a mess there. All right, so all of our Pawpaw ice cream mixture is in the ice cream freezer. And this varies, of course, by what kind of ice cream freezer you're using. These are pretty fast. These take usually about 15 minutes. And again, you can use a larger ice cream maker with ice and salt. I would double the recipe if you were using it in a larger ice cream maker. This makes about 1.5 quarts. So we're just going to wait for this to freeze, and then we're going to have some Pawpaw ice cream. All right, so our Pawpaw ice cream is done. You see it has thickened up nicely in our ice cream maker. So let's scoop some out. So we'll take the paddle out. You see it's thickened up really nicely. If you like a soft serve texture, you can eat it straight out of the ice cream freezer. If you want it to be a little bit firmer, you can put a container and put it in the freezer to freeze a little bit harder. So let's get this out into a container. See, it's a nice soft serve consistency right now. That's how I like it. But put it in our freezer container. You see, this has a really nice creamy texture. Pawpaw having that creamy texture, similar to ripe avocado texture, I think it's really good in things that are smooth and creamy, like ice cream and custard and smoothies and things like that. The texture of the fruit really lends itself to recipes like ice cream. And I mentioned you can bake with pawpaw. I personally like pawpaw best in ice cream and smoothies and recipes where it is not baked. You get this really nice, fresh, tropical pawpaw flavor. So again, you can store this in the freezer, let it get a little bit firmer. I think I'm gonna scoop out a little bit right now and try. Get some in a cup. So you see it has the yellow-orange pawpaw color. You see some little flecks of pawpaw pulp in there, but overall it's a really smooth, creamy ice cream. Let's give it a taste. Really nice. Pawpaw has this tropical flavor. Again, the best description is a blend of banana and mango, but really pawpaw has its own unique kind of tropical, tutti fruity flavor and really nice, creamy, smooth ice cream that it makes. So today we used fresh pawpaw pulp. Since pawpaws are in season right now, we used fresh right out of our orchard. But you can freeze pawpaw pulp for longer term storage. Remember, they have a short shelf life when they're ripe. So if you want to keep them for a long time, freezing is the best way to do that. So you would still have the same steps that we showed earlier of cutting the fruit in half, scooping out the insides, and either putting it through the mesh bag or through a colander or a food mill. And then that pawpaw puree that we showed that we put into this ice cream, you can put into freezer bags and freeze for longer term storage. And this is what that looks like. And so this way you can use pawpaw year round. The pawpaw season is fairly short. Pretty much the month of September, the first 3 weeks of September is the peak in this area. So this way you can use pawpaw fruit year round. You can make pawpaw ice cream, pawpaw jam, pawpaw bread year round with the pawpaws that you grew at home. So I hope that you will try this at home with some pawpaws that you either grew yourself or find at your local farmer's market this year and enjoy some pawpaw ice cream. Thank you.